Good morning, everyone. Have on Josey's Homesteading with you. And Josey's up here with the girl pigs this morning. Yeah, they eat some apples. But, yeah, I figured I'd do a little video. A little short I put out the other day. Got some comments. It was a lot of good ones, a lot of bad ones. But there's not a lot of bad ones. A few bad ones about let Josey get flogged by the rooster. So I figured I'd do a video on what the most dangerous animals are here for Josey, in my opinion. And we're going to start with the low end ones here. And right there would probably be one that hurts her, but is on the low end. And mainly it's because she likes him and she wants to pet him. And if you can tell, he's got pretty good sized horns on him. And I've never seen him actually try to hit her. Most of the time what it is, he just turns or turns to walk or turns his head or something like that and hits her with his horns. Now Blake here, he's starting to get up here pretty close because he likes to bite. So she's just whining about, yeah, pet Blake. But yeah, he'll nibble your finger. But baby, like I said, he's not mean. He's a big pet. He wasn't even trying to do nothing that time. But he has bumped her with his horns, knocked her down a few times. So Bubby, he's kind of on the low end, but there's a fine line. I try to teach her to stay away from him, especially if I'm not there. But at the same time, I don't want to scare her to where she thinks he's mean or, just scare her off goats altogether. So it's a fine line. And little piggies over here, she loves the pigs. Now these girls, when we got them, they were small, and she'd get right in here and lay right down in with them. Now they're a little bigger. They're probably up, they're probably 100, 125 pounds or something like that. And, if they occasionally step on their foot or something like that, and they don't really, when Sarah was little, Sarah would try to bite and stuff, and she tried to bite a little bit when she had her litter of piglets. But for the most part, these three are absolutely no problem. They love her to death. She gets there and plays with them, rolls around with them, rubs their bellies, rides them. They're not that big of a deal. Alright, now we got the chickens. And wow! And now is a good time because we didn't bring any feed in here with them. So they're going to... Yeah, oh! So watch out, chickens. So they actually kind of come at you a little bit and trying to get feed. Not that they're being mean, see? Oh, goodness. But as far as damage, the chickens are not going to do any damage. I mean, Oh my goodness, what are they doing? What are they doing? Oh, what are they doing? What are they doing? But this rooster is in here, is never tried to flog her. He runs from her. Now right now the hens are the ones that's trying to No, chicken. No, chicken. But they're just coming at her wanting feed. But they don't bother. Alright, we're up here at the barn. Now we got these two big meanies right over here. Hey. I can't get the camera angle on. But Andy is no threat. He don't ram anybody. But if you get in between him and food, he will flat run you over. That little thing there, she's I don't think she's any threat at all. Yeah, Josey gets in there and rubs on her. She won't hardly let me pet her. She lets Josey pet her pretty good. Josey likes riding Andy. He's big and fluffy. Need to give him a haircut. But, like I said, as long as there's no food involved, you know, if Josey's trying to pack a bucket of food or something like that over here, he'll rip it out of her hands to get to it and things like that. So that's the little threat with Andy. Like I said, the little goat, no threat whatsoever. Now, over here we got Gary and these two little burros. She gets in here, it's kind of like the girl. She loves these piggies. The little burros will let her pet on them while they're eating. They'll come up and sniff over and stuff when they're not eating. But she loves Gary. She hugs on Gary. She likes riding on Gary. She loves rubbing on Gary. Now, the thing with Gary, he's big. He's probably about 300 pounds. And he has twisted around and knocked her down. I watched him one day. Scared me to death. He knocked her down and then stepped over. Never stepped on her. Whether it's just luck that he didn't step on her, or if he just knew where to step at and didn't step on her. Gary's about 300 pounds, so if he was to knock her down and step on her belly or ribs or something like that, he could do some damage. So I watch her around Gary as much as I can. He's not mean. He's a big old teddy bear. But if he ever hurt her, it would be accident. He's not vicious, not mean. Mr. Rooster here, of course, he runs loose in the barn. He's been staying over here since he's figured out those chickens are here. He stays over here all the time. But he's never done anything. He like I said, he follows us around a lot of times when we're over working. Don't do anything. And here's Mr. Mean Rooster from the video. Like I said, she has got to where when we come over here and feed, she likes letting these chickens out so she can chase them around. And that's what was going on during that video the other day. She was chasing the hens, and I think he was trying to protect his hens. But the only time he's ever done that, and it wasn't nothing vicious, wasn't nothing bad, it hurt her feelings. Didn't leave on marks. He don't have any spurs, just little bitty nubs there. No. But these hens are pretty petted. She likes getting there and petting on them, rubbing on them. She can't hardly get inside this pen here. That's why she lets them out. So she lets them out and chases them around. But that's all. Like I said, chickens occasionally peck her fingers. That's the things with the chickens. Just don't do any harm. Scares her a little bit. But does no harm. But as far as all the animals I've showed just now, other than chickens pecking on their fingers, and that one rooster giving her a little tap at one day, none of these animals has ever done anything to hurt her other than Bubby. Bubby the goat. He's knocked her down a few times, like I said, nothing on purpose. Now we'll get into the animals that's actually hurt her. Somewhat intentional, some not so much. But Bear has growled at her over food. He's not ever done anything, but he has growled at her over food. All right, Bear. This one, however, has snapped at her and brought blood. She about died that day. Yeah, she about left this world that day. Those two, Bear put up anyway because he won't let the other two eat when they're eating. So she can't get to him. This one she can. I've tried to give her enough respect to not bother her. What is it? Wait a minute. Enough respect that she don't go to her while she's eating. I've tried to train her to know not to get around her while she's eating. Lucy, she goes in there with Lucy. Lucy was over laying sleeping in the corner. She goes over and rubs on Lucy. Lucy's laying down there in that corner over asleep. But She can pet on Lucy while Lucy's eating, rub on her, play with her tail. She likes playing with her tail. Lucy's tail is usually wagging and smacking her in the face, and she thinks that's the funniest thing in the world. Alright, that's the yellow dog, one that's hurt her. Next on the list from hurting her would be this fella, Char. Char has scratched her and bit her and squalled at her and hissed at her and all kinds of things. So Char is right up at the top of the list on things that's hurt her. And at the top of the list of things that's hurt her here, y'all are going to really be surprised. But the number one animal that has hurt her here on this homestead are these little fellers. Rabbits. They will bite, they will scratch, they will claw. They've probably done more damage overall, at least more times, than any of the rest of the animals we have. It's just their nature. She tries to pick them up, they scratch the far out of her. She sticks her finger in the cages, they bite her fingers. It's just their nature. They're making a lot of noise. They're making a lot of noise. But I just want to do this little video this morning. Just dangers that Josey faces on the homestead. You know, she rides a tractor and rides a lawnmower, rides a four-wheeler. You know, I just basically wanted to go over the animals and some of the little creatures and bugs and things like that float around. Like I said, by far, what's hurt her the most has been cats and the rabbits. You know, nothing major, but just getting scratched. I watch her around Gary, because just sort of he's so big. If he was to step on her or something other, it could do some serious harm. And I kind of watch her with Buddy, just because his horns are so big, and he spins around and he's hit her a couple times, knocked her down a couple times. But the other goats usually run from her, so the other goats has not been no problem. But yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to do a quick video of the things that could harm Josey, and if you have homestead, have small children, and you know every kid's different. Josey's not. She has no fear of none of these animals. You know, and that can be bad. You know, two stray dogs walked up here the other day. We was sitting behind the barn, and two just random dogs, and never seen them before in my life, walked up and she took off running right toward them. And you know, one turned around and took off. The other one just kept coming to her, and I didn't know if that dog would bite or you know, if it had some kind of disease. I didn't know nothing about that dog, but luckily, you know, it was a friendly dog. And I'm just assuming they belonged to some of our neighbors somewhere, and they just got loose or something. But you know, the other one didn't seem very nice, but it took off and left, and I never seen it again. The other one hung around for about 20 minutes, and then it left. But so, you know, kind of worries me. You know, it's you know, fine line. Like I said, you know, she's not scared of any of the animals. You seen a while ago with the chickens. You know, when the chickens were coming toward her, trying to peck the food out of her hand, which she had none in her hand, but you know, that's what they're used to. She did respect them enough to be like, get back. So she's learning, and that's what it takes. You know, every kid's different. One of my other granddaughters, she's scared to death of almost every one of the animals. She don't want nothing to do with any of them. So, you know, I don't want her to that point where she's scared of these animals so bad that she don't want nothing to do with them, because that would make homesteading almost impossible. But, you know, I want her to have that healthy respect for the animals and know what to do, know when to not be around them, and things like that. But I'm going to wrap it up for this video. Seems like I'm rambling on, but appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.